Hey, girlfriend, how are you today? I am here with Shannon Chapoy. Did I pronounce your last name right? Oh, good.
Sure. Oh,
And
yes.
she's coming from Amsterdam. Ladies, we are global. We have women across the world that are coming to you to share their light, their wisdom, their worksheets, their resources so you can take a minute for yourself. Ladies, this is what this is about today. So grab your little cup of coffee or whatever it is you like to drink there. I have a glass of water and I have my little worksheets all printed off because we're going to take a minute for you. This is not about us. This is about you. So you can take a breath. Maybe you want to light a candle. But we're going to walk through this little resource that's in the Brave magazine. And Shannon came with these lovely ladies of the Be Extraordinary Women's Network in the Shine community. That is Debbie Prediger's community that she is building. And she's gathering these fabulous women, and they're just lifting each other up. Shannon, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. So what's it like? What's your weather like in Amsterdam today?
Thank you so much. It's so brilliant to be here, and I feel just full of love and light and gratitude for the opportunity to be here together. And yes, in Amsterdam, it's finally getting a little bit sunny. So we're very happy when there's some sun in Amsterdam because it's a beautiful place to be, but the sun is a little bit shy sometimes.
Oh, well, that's a nice way to put it. I'm coming to you from Seattle, and yeah, we actually this is what I love about January. Every once in a while in January, we have some sunny skies. It's cold but clear, and so it doesn't last long because then we go into the spring rainy season. But yes, you know how that goes. So that's what I love about this little worksheet where it's going to give us a little sunshine and a little bit of just like that cozy feeling. And I walked through this, and this is really great. So Shannon, tell us a little bit about you first. What do you do? You know, what brings you to provide this little fun little worksheet to reconnect with yourself?
Yes, thank you. So I have always been in the corporate world. I'm passionate, deeply passionate about people. And so I went into international business and I was in sales and marketing, and I really loved it. But what I loved most was connecting with the customers and with my colleagues and all the people that I interacted with. But what I found is that I was really in service, and I deeply connected and loved being in service to others, but I often forgot about myself. And once I started to really look into that and really think about, okay, I'm on paper doing really well and I'm achieving all the things and I feel very proud of myself and professionally. But when I came home, I felt quite lonely and a little bit empty, and I didn't really know what I loved. So I hired a coach, and I went through a process one day where she said, well, you know, what do you love? And what would a date with you look like? And I thought, oh my gosh, that sounds dreadful. And I'm not joking. I really cried.
I know. How many people have asked themselves that? What would a date like with if you were going to take yourself out? What would that look like? I love that question. So what?
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
still
I
get
don't know.
chills
I'd
when I
have an
think
answer.
about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really, I had to really first cry and think it sounded horrible. And then I realized, okay, let's pull myself back up together. I'm not that bad. and and so I really thought about it for a bit of time. And I realized I didn't remember what I loved to do because I was always focused on pleasing everyone else.
Yep.
And making sure everybody else was happy. And I thought that's what success looked like. I thought it was selfish to think of what I love and arrogant to think about what my good qualities were. And I realized that in order to have a nice date with myself, I needed to know what I love and what is great about me. So that is how I took myself out on a first amazing date. And I never thought I would get married, to be honest, again, after 50, but I'm super happily married. I'm the most happy I've ever been my whole life. And I just deeply desire to help other women connect with themselves the way I was able to reconnect with myself and rediscover what's great about them, what the good qualities are in them, what the great qualities are, what makes them extraordinary. Because I think the greatest love for all of us lives within each one of us. And that's what I live by now. And sometimes I forget, so I have to remind myself. But I think if we all realize, really deeply feel that, that the greatest love for all of us lives within each one of us, and that we can reconnect with the most beautiful qualities within us and know that it's not selfish or arrogant to think that. That's how this resource was born, is just really wanting people to be able to reconnect with themselves.
Yeah.
And yes, discover
let's take this apart a little bit. Yeah, before we get into the worksheet and stuff, let's first of all, let's ask our ladies that are listening. Yes. How many of you can relate to that you will often put everybody else first, that you think of yourself last? And we often have these little I relate buttons or signs. So ladies, feel free to type in the comments. And we have many ladies listening right now. We've got Nicole and Debbie chatting away in the comments there. And thank you, ladies, for supporting us as we come live. But that is, I think, a common thread through a lot of women, whether they're corporate, an entrepreneur, a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is, you're putting everybody else first. You don't even know. I mean, if someone asked me, what is it you love? I mean, I had to sit and pause for a minute and go, oh my gosh, what is it that I love? Shannon, that is some great questions. And one of the things, I'm just going to read from the first sheet here. And it says, too often we are busy doing work and other chores for everyone else. We're thinking of everybody else. And sometimes we forget what we love about ourselves, or how to nurture ourselves. Mm-hmm. Not just taking, me time or whatever, but actually nurturing us. What does that look like? So ladies, we're going to walk through a little exercise and this is all called Reconnect With You. So kind of set it up for us. What is kind of the first thoughts we should be thinking about before we answer the questions?
I think the first thing is just to realize that how important it is to reconnect with us and rediscover what lights us up, what makes us happy, who are we? And especially from a place of knowing that we don't have to achieve more, because we've been conditioned to think that we have to achieve more. And to be honest, a lot of women are very high achieving and very high performing women, whether they're stay-at-home moms or in high professional careers. And we don't need more of that. We just need to reconnect with who we already are, and it's already perfect. We all have different qualities and different things we're great at, and just reconnecting with that and realizing what are the great qualities about us. And I did that in a context of for myself first, but later I also used that for when I was looking for a partner and thinking, what are the qualities I want in others and in a partner? And if I want those qualities in a partner, am I a match for that? So it can serve. That's very confronting sometimes.
Yes, absolutely.
I want somebody adventurous, and then I realized, I'm not so adventurous. I'm kind of risk averse, and that's where I actually realized. And part of the resource is asking also, what would you like to expand into? What are some qualities you'd like to develop? And for me, it was being more adventurous. So I started kayaking. I started doing a little bit more wild hiking. I bought actual hiking shoes in my mid-50s. And I thought, I really became a much more fun person in my 50s than ever before, I think. And it was just because of pondering those questions, what would I love and what lights me up? And then on this date that I told you about, I did take myself out to a beautiful restaurant and just thought outside the box. I don't need the main course. I just want the starters and the dessert. And I just am doing really things my own way, and just finding your own way, not having to conform to what you're supposed to do.
Right. And you know what I love about these little resources in the magazine? I just adore them but what I'm finding is by coming here and chatting with all of you, I am actually taking time for myself. And it's because it's scheduled in. I mean, isn't that kind of crazy that we have to schedule in nurture time or discovery time or curiosity about yourself, whatever you want to call it, make it fun, make it playful, whatever kind of lights your boat. But, you talk about rediscovering who we are. And, sometimes we've gotten a little lost in the mix because we've been serving and lifting everybody else up, that we know all about them, but we don't know that much about ourselves. In fact, as I was walking through this, I actually had to go to chat and I said, can you give me some examples of some of these things? And so I could kind of pick and choose because I'm just not used to thinking about myself. Isn't that crazy?
It's normal. Yeah. What did you discover then about yourself,
Oh
Karen?
my gosh, yeah. So I just kind of played a little bit and I thought I'm going to have some fun with this. So girls, if you would like this, there's a free subscription. You can download the magazine and go right to Shannon's section in the magazine, and it's called Reconnect With You. And so the first prompt so you give a little description of what we were just talking about, and the first one was, what do you most love about yourself? And then you said list 5 or 10 characteristics that you genuinely appreciate or admire about yourself. I'm like, I literally had to go ask chat, give me some examples of what this might look like, or, whatever. But so then I started playing and I'm like, that doesn't fit. So I needed some prompting. So girls, so here's some prompts for you. If one was, okay, I got to put on my glasses so I can actually read my own writing. I'm resilient. I've been through a heck of a lot. And as most women, in women of a more interesting age have been through a lot. I realized and through all of building this, I realized that I take brave steps even when it's uncomfortable. I am a good action taker. I usually take action before I think everything out.
That's perfect.
And then I clean it up after I go. But I care deeply. I care deeply about people. I bring positive energy when I show up.
Absolutely. Lots of it.
Yeah, I'm curious. I find meaning in the small things. I love, like, even just going out, walking in nature and finding the beauty in the leaves or the trees or how the light's coming through. I'm not so much out there power walking. I love to discover and see the beauty in things. I love creating beauty. I love being surrounded by beauty. Those are some of the things that just really light me up. And I love having meaningful conversations. That lights up my world. And that's what I think I love about having these conversations with you ladies, is we get to go a little bit deeper and talk about what's in our heart.
Absolutely. I love that, Karen. Thank you so much for sharing examples and being vulnerable and open to share with others, because I think we're a little bit shy, about talking about ourselves and going deeper and really understanding what makes us special. And we're all unique and special. We all have special qualities. So it's great to recognize.
I would love to hear some of the ladies. We've got a couple in the audience. I would love to hear just one characteristic that you love about yourself. What comes to mind? Because we could come up with, it's fun to see what other people see in themselves, because it opens a window too to learn about them.
For sure. Absolutely. And what I found too, Karen, is when you reconnect more deeply with yourself and you understand and really know yourself, rediscover yourself, you can more deeply connect with others, because that's where part of this need came when I just focused on everybody else. And the resource came about also because I thought, I'm so closed off from everything in my personal life. And I would just really love to rediscover that and be more open with others. But sometimes even when other people ask you, tell me about you, these are all things that are in the back of your mind. They're kind of filed away in a file cabinet deep down at the bottom in the back. You just forget. So it's good to just bring this up to the surface and recognize and celebrate it within yourself first, and be able to share with others and curious about others.
Right. What would it look like if you were out with a girlfriend, out for coffee, and you asked her this question? Wouldn't that change the conversation? Because usually we catch up on, what your kids are doing, all these different things. What if you asked your girlfriend, what's something that you just really love about yourself? She'd probably go, well, let me think about that one, but you might learn something. It's an interesting topic of conversation, you know? So Shannon, I'm interested in knowing what's one characteristic that as you were writing this, what came up for you? What's that one
For
characteristic
me,
that you,
it's yes. For me, it would be genuine passion. And by that, I mean genuine passion for people. I'm genuinely interested and passionate about people and cultures and learning and nature and about many things. I love that.
yes, in fact, you just sparked something in me. You know what? I love to learn. I love to go to classes and learn different things, but I don't necessarily learn by reading so much, but I love learning by hearing what people their wisdom and their intuition and things like that. So that's one of the things that I love about myself, that I'm curious about other humans. I love that. So the second question is, what characteristic would you love to develop next? Yeah, I had to sit with that one for a little bit too and go, what is it that I want? So what comes up
Yeah.
for you when you were writing this? What's your hope with this?
For me, I'm really curious about the audience as well, and you.
Yeah.
Um, and you're right, it's a great conversation piece. But for me, it was really being more adventurous and more sporty. I thought I felt very limited in what
Mhm.
I could do. I was really fitting into this box of what was told to me when I was younger, that
Uh-huh.
I was very smart and that I did well in school and I was good, very dedicated in my work, but I was never very adventurous, and I conformed to that image.
Mhm.
And I realized actually I really would love to be more sporty and adventurous and experience new things. And so that was the big thing for me that I discovered. I wanted to be, yes, more active, more sporty, more
Yeah. So what are
adventurous.
you hoping for women to get when they're exploring this question? What's your kind of your thought behind it all that prompted this journal prompt?
Absolutely. So it's really just thinking a little bit outside the box, thinking outside of what maybe they feel that there are their responsibilities, what other people expect from them. If they dig really deeper and think, okay, what would I love to expand within myself or evolve or grow or learn or experience in life that I've never done before because I just thought I don't have the time or the resources or it doesn't make sense or it's not reasonable. But if you
Mhm.
just allow yourself to expand further and really dig deeper, and I was inspired. That's why I love connection with other women, especially um, to learn from them. I remember when I was in the coaching program, one of the girls, Lisa, she was very, very sporty, and I just thought I could never do that. And I just became really close with her. And then I went kayaking, and I did. She helped me to do that and do more things. And so I think it's just being expanded by beyond a little bit what you think your current limitations are. So it's just
Oh,
broadening your horizons.
yeah, I love that, how you said that. And you also said go beyond what others expect. Women tend to, if you're a people pleaser, you tend to think of, oh, what is everybody expecting from me? And walking in that path. And no, and if you step over here, say, what might that look like? One of the things I got out of this is I challenged myself to try to think, okay, what is it? And I said, I would love to be a good listener without an agenda. I tend to listen, and I tend to listen either for how I'm going to respond, or my wheels start turning because I can see sometimes one of my things that I love about myself is that I can see things that other people can't see in themselves. I can see their gifts and how they might apply those gifts in certain areas. But what happens is then when I'm listening, sometimes I have an agenda. It's like, oh, have you ever thought of this? Because you've got this great gift. Look at what you can do. And so I'm always because my creative wheels are already turning. But and I look to my mom. My mom's a great listener. She just listens. She doesn't provide necessary feedback. I mean, and you feel heard and seen.
Mm.
I don't know what she does, but it's a gift. I would love to experience that quality of listening, if you will.
That's beautiful. Although what you just shared before is a special, unique gift you have
Yeah.
that not that many people have, to be able to see beyond what
Mhm.
somebody can see. So definitely don't downplay that. But it's also nice, maybe just intentionally thinking, okay, this one conversation with a friend, I'm just going to listen and not.
Yeah.
But I love that you thought of something outside the box. That's
Yeah,
perfect.
see, that's my outside the box thing, I guess. And then you go on to what brings you joy or lights you up. I love this one because we don't. Again, we just kind of do. We're busy. We're stepping into things. We're doing things, but we don't always stop to think. What does bring me joy? What does light me up?
Yeah, it's such an important question.
Yeah, and what came to me was I love playfulness. Um, I am, I'm 65. I could be retired. But I'm choosing to be creative. I love being creative. That lights me up. But I also, in my free time, what I'm having to discover because I am single, and I've had to find things to do and that's been I have to say, it's been a real challenge for me, because I'm used to being productive. And I used to, have all these things, being busy in my social life. And all of a sudden it's like, it's kind of opened up. So I've had to find things that bring me joy. And the things that bring me joy is I love bike riding. I love swimming. It reminds me of it brings back memories of my youth. That playfulness and just out there for fun, not for anything else, just go out and have some fun.
I love that, Karen. That's beautiful.
Yeah. So I love these questions because, you're having to stop and think. And so then you go on to what is one area of your life ready for an upgrade? Okay. And you give some examples, which was really thankful for because, yeah. So tell us a little bit about this.
Yes, I think it's sometimes we also feel like, especially in the new year, we think we have to have all these goals and high achievements. And in this case, it's really not about that. It's really just thinking, okay, I always talk about my operating system and my old operating system working as I used to
Mhm.
think about in my more limited thinking, and then the upgrade of the new operating system. So that's how I think of this as well too. And it's more of a way of looking at things or something to focus on that you would like to just be a little bit better at or to improve a little bit. It can even be something that you wouldn't think, like being kinder and more compassionate with yourself. How about if we all did that, and then we could be able to do that for ourselves first and then for others? It's just like the reconnection and the rediscovering yourself. It's when you do this for yourself first, then you're more able to do it with others. And
Mhm.
it can be something as simple as that, because our language in our head to ourselves can sometimes be quite harsh. And if we just upgraded this one thing of being kinder and more compassionate with ourselves, and stop judging ourselves, then that would already make our life so much better.
Yeah.
And so that could be one example. But of course, I give examples like our health, which has been my focus for a few years, and it goes back and forth. And sometimes it does really well, and sometimes less. And being kinder to myself when it is a little bit less. But anyway, whatever area of your life you're wanting to upgrade, meaning to just do a little bit better, and instead of trying to focus on 10 things, if you just focus on one thing, it just really
Yeah.
helps to make you feel like you can be successful and celebrate that success.
Yes. So I'm taking this to heart because I just love this. And girls, we're challenging you today to take a look at this. So mine, I circled. You have some different words, health, career, confidence, inner peace, calling in soulmate love. I love
Mhm.
that, or something else entirely. But the one that I circled was confidence. And
Mhm.
I have been overthinking a situation, and I can sit and ruminate on things and, all these things. But I something that is coming to me around this area is going to the facts of a situation, because then it's just the facts, and then asking myself, what is one action step I can take? Not 20 million things, or sit and think on it for 20 hours or whatever, but what's one action step I can do that deals with that what is, and not the assumption or the story, but go into the fact. So I now have a little book. I went and bought a little, like a little journal book, and I named it What Is.
Wow, I love that. That's so good.
Because I can tend to overthink, ruminate, create stories, make assumptions, create all this other that doesn't need to be there. And I'm really, that is kind of my area of expansion of using my voice, if you will, but in a productive way. So I'm glad because it reminded me of that. And it's so funny because I was just talking to my son about it last night. I'm like, yeah, I need to get out that book about what is. And so this was perfect timing today, and I see so many ladies commenting, upgrades just one piece, calling in your soulmate love. Somebody else says, yeah, and how about if we all did that, about having a little more compassion, for ourselves? I love that.
Definitely. And Karen, I just feel intuitively the need to share something about this calling in the soulmate love, because people who know my story, and I will probably go into that at some other time more deeply, but I really had given up and I bought a single bed because I was convinced I was destined to be alone. And I think what really helped the most in actually truly finding the truly love of my life and being happily married for 2 years now was really being more relaxed, just thinking about these qualities I wanted. And then when you were talking about the what is and the stories, we always make up all these stories, we all do it. And if we would just I get chills, if we would all just relax about that and just, like you said, focus on what is and release all the assumptions we make. And what I say is, with whether you're trying to find your soulmate love or your next great adventure or just learning something new, is just like thinking about the desire that you have and then kind of letting it go and trusting that it's this or something better still, that if it's meant to be, it will be. And I know that that's kind of an overused statement, but I think when I really relaxed about it and I started with the foundation, I still deeply live by this, that the greatest love for all of us lives within each one of us. When I go back to that, and when I had doubts, even in the beginning of my relationship, I would go back to that. And that really helped me to get more grounded and to realize, okay, it will be what it's meant to be. And I have these 4 words that I also live by. And it's really just also speaking to what you were just saying. And it's about surrendering. Like sometimes all these stories, okay, surrender, calm down, surrender, trust that everything is exactly as it's meant to be, and it will all work out how it's meant to. Believe that it's possible and allow it to happen. And that just it kind of softens you into a mode of not holding on so tightly, because my whole life, I wanted to hold on to everything, my results and my work or relationships or family situations. And I think, when I could just surrender and trust, in a higher power, we didn't talk about that, but really it's also connecting with your divine essence and just trusting in yourself and in the universe and in the way things are meant to be, and letting go of all those stories we torture ourselves with. I do too, sometimes still. I have to remember to stop.
Okay, that's a good way to put it. Okay, I think this is worth repeating. And I'm going to have you pop into and say what the last one: surrender, trust, believe it's possible. And what was the 4th one?
Allow it to just happen, to happen as it's meant to.
Oh, wow. Okay, girls, write that down in your journal today. I love that surrender, and you were talking too about letting it breathe, relax into this. We take things so seriously, and it's got to happen, and it's got to happen now. And we're charging hard, and all this. It's a new year. We got to go. We got all these goals. But if we relaxed into it a little bit.
Yes, absolutely. And then also connecting that to what I mentioned about the soulmate. I know this isn't all about finding your soulmate, and maybe people aren't doing that, but whether it's finding a soulmate or the next thing that you would love to accomplish in your life, it's like I was saying, just not holding so tightly onto that it has to look a certain way or be a certain way. But in my case, I just opened my heart. It was really closed. I joke with my girlfriends that I had the door closed and locked and threw away the key. It was like, okay, that part of my life is done. I
Yeah.
really, truly believed that. But when I thought, okay, I just opened the door a little bit,
Yeah.
surrender into it, trust, believe that it could be possible and allow it to happen, and just maybe be open to just finding a friend to go have dinner with and not be so much into the holding on so tight and thinking like, oh, could this be the one? And that is how I met my husband. I really truly thought like, well, let's see, maybe it's just somebody nice to have dinner with. So
Yeah.
that's what I wanted to connect it with that for those that it might be relevant for, or even if it's just about getting a new job or changing your life in some way or trying something new. It's just kind of relaxing into it.
Well, I think that applies whether someone is looking for somebody else or a new experience, even for women who are married, to bring back
Definitely.
some spark or some love or some reconnection or whatever that might look like, or in friendships even. There's so many different ways we can apply this. And I love Debbie said, open your heart. And what if we said, what if this is the path that we're supposed to be on? And relaxing about it and seeing some things that maybe we didn't see before. Shannon, I love this conversation. We could keep it going, but we are going to wrap up. So what's one thing you would love to leave the ladies with?
Just the reminder that the reconnection and with ourselves, and taking the time to rediscover what lights us up, what we love about ourselves, what we would love to expand into and to grow and to evolve, is really a gift you give yourself, and not only for yourself, but also for those around you. Because when you are more grounded and more connected with your divine essence, you also show up in the best possible way. You become your best self in that moment, and you also connect more deeply with those around you. So that's what I would love to leave everyone with today.
Wow, so great. So ladies, I'm going to do something different right now. I want you to all give yourself a hug. And so give yourself a hug. Now take your arms and do it the opposite way and see what it feels like. Doesn't it feel different? It feels so grounding, like almost like somebody else is giving you a hug.
Yeah, I love
That's
it.
that strength. It's a different feel. This one's like, oh, I love me. This one's like, no, I got you, girl. So I want you to know that we've got you. We've got these great resources. We've got these fabulous women that you can. This magazine is like no other. You can actually connect with Shannon, and she'll walk you through this worksheet. A little personal moment, all to you. It's not like a sales thing. It's just, let's walk you through this. Let's see what you have within you. Let's see what that spark is. Ladies, and the other ladies who are part of the magazine have offered that as well. You can connect with them. It's just a beautiful thing that we can join hands and walk together and create something beautiful within. So ladies, we leave you and we will see you next time. And remember to give yourself a hug. All right. We'll see you next time. Thanks,
Thanks for that.
Shannon.
Thank you.